Ya Bapa kami yang di surga, sucilah namamu. Datanglah kerajaanmu, terlaksanalah kehendakmu di bumi sebagaimana di surga. Berilah kami makanan untuk hari ini. Ampunkanlah kesalahan kami sebagaimana kami mengampuni mereka yang bersalah terhadap kami. Janganlah biarkan kami tergoda, tetapi selamatkanlah kami daripada yang jahat. Engkaulah yang mempunyai kerajaan, kekuasaan dan kemuliaan. Engkaulah yang mempunyai kerajaan, kekuasaan dan kemuliaan. Engkaulah yang mempunyai kerajaan, kekuasaan dan kemuliaan. Engkaulah yang mempunyai kerajaan, kekuasaan dan kemuliaan selama-lamanya.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Anda baru dengar Doa Bapa Kami. Woo!
Yeah.
Wow. Now, we are very, very privileged to have the songwriter here with us. And you saw her singing as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please invite, not for the first time, I think now for the second time, possibly even the third time. Who knows, in the future, maybe even the fourth, fifth, sixth time. Give it up for none other than Miss Juwita Suwito. Come on.
Oh, thank you for having me back on your show.
Thank you so much for being so
Always a
supportive
privilege.
over the years. You know,
Pleasure.
it's always a pleasure to have you back.
Pleasure.
And you were so supportive as well last year. You know, you very fast said yes. This year, so very quickly you said yes. And in fact, you already had a song in mind, and it was this song, Doa Bapa Kami.
Yes, that's right.
Now, we want to talk a little bit about the song, of course. BM song.
Yes.
BM song, Bahasa Malaysia song.
Okay.
Any reason why it is in Bahasa Malaysia?
Ada cerita ni.
Ada cerita.
For
Okay,
you.
biar kita dengar sama-sama.
Okay, so if you didn't realize, the song is actually the Lord's Prayer in
Yes.
Bahasa Malaysia. And I was actually approached by, well, not I, but we were actually approached
Yeah.
by Alkitab Versi Borneo, AVB,
Okay.
to actually write a song based on the scripture text.
Right, so it was
so
already given to you.
It's in the Bible lah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, so right, it's in Matthew 6, chapter 6, verse 9 to 13, if I'm not mistaken. And she wanted, like, in English, you have the Lord's Prayer in different versions.
Yeah.
So she said, could you write a song that would help people to memorize it and also sing it as a prayer lah. So in Bahasa Malaysia, because all this time we've never had the Lord's Prayer in Bahasa Malaysia. We have it in Indonesian. So the funny thing was, the first time she asked me, I was like, oh, okay, but it didn't resonate.
Right.
You know? Until 2020, and she actually asked another member of Malaysian Worship Collective.
Yeah.
She said, hey, you guys, how about y'all do this song lah? And unbeknownst to her, the person came back to me and asked to write the song. And
Right.
at that time, it felt right. It
Wow.
felt like yes, this is something that is the right time and I want to do this.
Yeah.
So we said, yeah, okay. So I sat down on the keyboard, opened the Bible verse. Literally, it's verbatim of
Yes.
the Bible, no addition, except got repeat sikit
Yeah.
at the end.
No subtraction also.
No subtraction. It's
Yes.
word for word. So, yeah, and I think in one sitting the
Wow.
song came out. So,
Now,
yeah.
of course, I have to ask you as well, because when we do translations, right, accuracy is very important,
Yeah.
right? So did you, I don't know, did you check with a professor? Did you whip out the Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka to
Okay.
check the translation when you say verbatim and things like
Yeah,
that?
so
How was that?
no, the good thing is we didn't have to do the translation because the Bible is already in Bahasa Malaysia.
Yeah, so you just
right?
use
So
the-
we just use the Bible text. Like
Right.
you open your NIV or you open your
Whatever
and then just take it
version.
from there exactly lah.
Ah.
Yeah, copy paste.
Nice. So I think there's no point asking you what's the inspiration behind the song because it's
Yeah.
clearly,
It's the Lord's Prayer lah.
Yeah, it's the Lord's
Yes.
Prayer. And so I wanted to ask you, were there any challenges? Because you said you did it in one sitting. Doesn't
Yes.
sound very challenging to me. So, maybe is there any challenge that you faced?
There was.
Right.
Okay, so if you look at a normal song, right,
Yeah.
you always have your verse, chorus,
Correct.
bridge.
Exactly.
There's a repetition, there's rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the Lord's Prayer, that isn't really a shape like that. There's no verse 1, verse 2, chorus, and so I had to sit down and think, how do I make this sound like a song? And try to make it somewhat memorable.
Yes.
It's not going to be like your regular praise and worship
Correct,
song that you
correct.
can just pop, like that. So I had to look for the patterns in the rhythm of the words, and try to make it, repeat the melody, the rhythm a little bit to make it have a semblance of a song.
So I noticed you used for yours is the kingdom and power and glory, right?
Yes.
You used that line.
I use that
As
as
the-
the, so to speak, chorus lah.
Yeah.
We would call it more of a tag lah. A tag,
Right.
yeah.
But why that specific one? Is it because it's towards the end of the song? Why not just the start? Why not another one, Why that one? Is there any reason for that?
I think, right? Good question.
Yeah.
Okay, so one at the end lah, so easy, right?
Okay,
Just
of
repeat
course.
the ending.
Yeah.
But also because that part of that prayer
Yeah.
has always meant a lot to me. You pray and everything. Why?
Yeah.
Because thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Like whatever else, it's still his is the kingdom. Whatever you want to say lah, you ask for this, ask for that, believe this or don't believe this.
Right.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory lah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, what about the melody here? Because Juwita, like you said, in songwriter's perspective, right, the lyrics will come and then the melody comes sometimes first, sometimes later.
Yeah.
This one, the lyrics were already a given.
Correct, and
It's
cannot
there,
change.
And you can't change it. Exactly.
Yes.
You have to work with what you have. So in many ways, some people take it as a blessing. Some people say, I feel so restricted, because you
Yes.
cannot do anything.
Yeah.
For you, as a vocalist as well, I mean, what was the process at number one? And the melody, how did it come to you? Because it sounds amazing, by the way. How you managed to make
Praise
it
God.
as a like you say, it sounds like a proper worship song. And engkau lah ya, mempunyai kerajaan, kekuasaan dan kemuliaan,
Kemuliaan,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds so easy to remember and so easy to sing. So did the melody take a long time to come out?
Okay, so interestingly, I thought this was going to be crazy. This is
Right.
going to be impossible,
Yeah.
right? But when I actually sat down and studied the text,
Yeah.
well, the first thing I was like, okay lah, our Father in heaven, how would I approach that? So it started like low, right?
Yes,
Ya
yes.
Bapa Kami yang di syurga, sucilah namamu. And then I realized that, got rhythmic pattern one. There was like, datanglah kerajaanmu, terlaksanalah kehendakmu. It's like kind of
Kind of rhymes
got-
almost, right? Got a
And then so I repeated that lor.
Right.
Then I added answer to that. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then I'm like, okay lah, cause here's the trick, right? When you write songs, right?
Yes, some tips
You want to
incoming.
repeat as many patterns as you can. Sometimes it's not in the melody. Often
Right.
it's not in the melody, but it's in the timing of the words.
And the reason for that is to help people.
to help people to remember.
Okay,
So
I
when you
see.
repeat it, it kind of locks in. If I keep on changing the rhythm,
Yeah.
then it's like very hard for people to catch,
Mm.
right? So then came the next line, which was berilah kami makanan untuk hari ini.
Mm.
Ampunkanlah kesalahan kami, which is like kind of okay. That's
Yeah.
another pattern. So I think for me it was, actually there is a kind of pattern in that.
Yeah.
So maybe when Jesus was saying it, right,
Yeah.
he meant it as a poem also. I also don't know lah, but
Yeah.
there was kind of like a form in there which I just had to kind of work with lah.
Nice.
Yeah. So in a way, it's like you say a lot of challenges, right? Because you
Yes.
can't change it.
Exactly.
But that's the best thing because when you have limitations, you have to just work within it lah.
And you have to make it work
You have
somehow.
to make it work lah.
Yeah,
And of course, ask God lah for inspiration.
yeah, and you
lah.
did make it work. And I mean, through the power of the Holy
Praise
Spirit
God.
as well, the anointing, you
it's
did
like-
actually make it
it's
work.
Like, I'm really, really thankful because I think I told God, I don't want this just to be a song. I don't want this to be like, hard work just to put the words together, But I wanted it to be something that, people can make it their own prayer lah.
Yeah.
It should be melodious, like the English version of the Our Father, that one?
Yes.
So that was what I was kind of gunning for, but it needed to be Malaysian, have that Nusantara feel.
Yeah.
So I said, God, please help. And I'm very thankful lah for what came out lah.
Now, of course, we want to talk about the timing as well because you told me we had a chat earlier, and this song was it was written in 2020.
2020, correct.
And I don't know if you guys can remember this, but 2020 was pretty much the height of the pandemic, and then it was
Yes.
released in somewhere in the middle of the year as well.
Correct, yeah.
And that really, we were stuck in pandemic, and you told me it was produced that time, it was released that
Yes,
time.
yeah.
So it sounds quite insane to me because to produce a song, you need to get the people together in one
Yeah.
place or in one room maybe.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that things, even simple things like that, which in the past we took for granted, suddenly became a challenge for you guys as well.
Yeah.
So talk me through that process of the production period because it was the
Okay.
height of the pandemic at the time.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit of background.
Yeah.
My team and I, we have been doing ministry. We've been performing. We've been doing a lot of on stage live things. And one of the prayers that I had was for the musicians to learn or to launch into production. So it's a very different ball game. It's a very different creature. Just performing or playing on stage, playing live,
yeah.
and recording something. It sounds like it's the same thing, but actually it's very, very different. So then I was asking God, how do we move from here to there, right? And then pandemic happened, right? So what happened when pandemic happened? Everybody closed down.
Correct.
Church closed down. There was no more live. All the musicians suddenly have to record lah.
Yeah.
No choice. So from level 3 lah, let's say, suddenly no choice. Every week do became like, I would say level 6,
Yeah.
7, 8. And within that month, the few months, I was suddenly saying, these guys are doing recording already. So one of the things that we wanted to do was to say, let's gather people who are already doing this and see how we can bless the churches, bless the smaller churches that don't have the resources to record lah or to produce lah. Like video take a lot of work, no? Lah. A lot of people think it's very easy, but yeah. So when we gathered this group and then this request to do the song came along, so we said, hey guys, we got the first project. Let's do this song,
Right.
And then the amazing thing was we had our keyboardist, the arranger, was based in Singapore, and then the guy who mixed it was based in Brunei.
Okay.
And the rest were based in, so the original singer, just now Clement, your treat because it's the first time we're hearing him sing that song.
It is, yeah.
Right? But the original singer was from Sabah,
I see.
right? So everything was via Zoom. We sent them the links, we sent them the demo, and then, one by one, they record the tracks and send over lah.
Wow. So everything was
Yeah.
done remotely.
Everything was
and,
done
And it was a collaborative effort. I mean, it's safe to say between at least 3 countries, lah,
At
right?
least 3 countries.
Singapore, Brunei, and Malaysia.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
So it's crazy. So even now, I think maybe there was a reason for that,
Right.
because the Lord's Prayer in Bahasa, and then you have 3 countries that actually
Yeah.
use this
And it's
language,
actually the
right?
first, you were sharing as well, it's the first song that Malaysia Worship Collect. This is the first one, right?
Yes,
That
that
you
was
guys
our
produced.
first production, our first release as well.
Wow.
So I think it's a little bit sentimental as well.
Got feeling lah.
Got feeling.
Now, speaking of feelings, right? Besides asking how you feel about a song, it's close to your heart. But at the same time, do you have a favorite part of this song? I always have to ask this as well because we know it's the Lord's Prayer. And maybe for you, as you wrote this song or the melody came to you, is there one? I think I might be able to guess which is your favorite line, I guess. But yeah,
think
if you
so
don't
too.
mind, yes. Could you share maybe your favorite part and
So
why?
which one do you think it was?
I think it's Engkau.
Yes. Well, for the reasons that I mentioned
Yeah,
just now.
correct.
But yeah, that's a place you get to belt lah. Everything is
Yes.
just like,
And that's
Yeah,
the place
but
that you
it's a
really get to...
declaration, right? It's also
Yeah.
a declaration.
Yeah,
of-
thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever
like,
and ever.
Whoa, like that's like statement of faith, right? It's like,
Yeah.
woo.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, slowly running out of time here, but I also want to ask you, Juwita, when you think about this song, and you say it was released in 2020, and now 3 years on, I hope so many people will be able to hear the song, and of course, bring it to their own churches as well. What is your hope for the song? What is your vision? Has your vision changed, maybe even from 2020 when you released it at the height of the pandemic, and now when everything is opening up? Maybe there's a new vision for the song, but perhaps you can share what's in your heart when you think about Doa Bapa Kami.
Yeah, sure. So when we first released, again, it was at the height of the pandemic, and we wanted people to be able to use the resource in their churches, right? So especially in the more traditional churches, right? The Lord's Prayer is a big feature
Oh, yeah.
in it, right? So, or when we do communion, right? Sometimes at the end, we say the Lord's Prayer together. So there were churches that played the track, as in they included it as part of the service.
Wow.
Instead of just saying it, you know,
Yeah.
instead of just praying it, you can now sing it lah, right? The best part, I think, was when English-speaking churches started to adopt it as well. And they felt like, hey, why not sing it in our national language? It gives
Yeah.
it a different interpretation almost. Like when you hear it always in the same language, right? You kind of get
You kind of almost get
immune to it almost.
Yeah,
desensitized,
Yeah,
correct.
I understand.
But when you hear it in another language, like, because although it's a translation of the same word,
Yeah.
but it has a different nuance to it.
Correct.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, wow, if Malaysia would embrace, I mean, a bit big-headed lah to think like, you know, a song that I wrote, if Malaysia could embrace it, but if I don't look at it as my work per se, but it's just something that, you know, God has used us to leave behind lah
Yeah.
for Malaysia when we're gone. That would be really something lah.
Yeah.
And hey, if kids, you know, if you use that in Sunday school and,
Yeah.
and teach it to kids,
Yeah.
and and if they can really, really memorize the Lord's Prayer through that, that would
Wow.
be
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, very well said, Juwita. Thanks for sharing from your heart as well.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the honesty in that song as well. And it's very, very powerful. Now, to the rest of you guys, of course, if you guys want to watch more episodes like this, more songs like this, even more covers of certain songs, you can always subscribe to us. You can click on all the other videos as well that we've shot and we've released. It is Uncover. And of course, you can subscribe to us at letsgetreal.my. Other than that, we're also on all other social media platforms. We're also on Facebook and on Instagram. It is all the same username at letsgetreal.my. Not forgetting, guys, we have a community as well on Discord, so you can join us in the description box below. I think the invite link is there. Juwita, what about chords to the song? I'm sure you can get it as well, right?
Yep. It's
Yeah.
actually available online, so
Yes.
check it out on our YouTube. Just go check out Doa Bapa Kami.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might have to put that Malaysian version.
But we will
we got
include
it
the
there.
link in the description
Yes,
box below as well.
awesome.
Definitely.
Yes.
Juwita, any last words for anyone who's listening or watching or streaming this right now? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I would say embrace these songs, sing it in your churches, because there is nothing like singing something that is, you know, from our land. And you'll be amazed, I think, at how it can touch different ones of us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very well said. Thank you so much, Juwita, on behalf of the entire team.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for
Thank
sharing
my
this song as
pleasure.
well.
Thanks for doing
And
what you're doing, man.
Thank you. You're welcome. And we look forward to having you again
Thank
next
you.
year for the many, many years to come.
All
lah, okay?
right.
Yes. And to you guys, thank you so much for watching as well. Until next time, this has been Uncover. Of course, with Juwita, Doa Bapa Kami, available. Of course, you can stream us at every major platform. Until then, we'll see you guys again next time. This is Juwita and Brendan saying bye-bye and God bless. Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode on Let's Get Real.
If you want to see more episodes like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like the video, comment, and share it with your friends.
And if you want to support our ministry by giving your love gifts, you can do so with the bank details that you see on the screens right now.
Be sure to earmark LGR or Let's Get Real so that we know your giving will be used for this ministry.
Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, God bless and bye-bye.
Bye.